This is Biology 2 majors with Professor Scher, and we'll be dissecting a fetal pig. Currently we're looking at the external structures, which be the ears, the eyes, the mouth, the nose, the limbs, and the umbilical cord. You can tell it's a male because back here you can see the scrotum, and further up is the urogenital opening. Okay, I'm just cutting it open now. It's gonna be the worst to try and open there because he's flat like a pancake.
Okay, we have currently cut past the skin. We can now see muscle.
Yeah, this will be the thoracic muscle. Here would be the sternum deep to the muscle. Then here is, with the skin torn away, this is the umbilical cord, and then this will be the urethra. Here we just cut past the abdominal muscle, and you can see the peritoneum surrounding the organ inside. Here you can see the parietal peritoneum, and this will be the visceral peritoneum as it covers the organs within the cavity. The purpose of the peritoneum is to reduce friction. So the serous membranes secrete a fluid that reduces friction and makes the membranes glide across each other. Here you can see we've cut open the abdominal wall. Here is the liver, the lobes of the liver. 1, 2, and you can say 3. And then here's the small intestines, and hiding behind that is a section of large intestines. Over here you can see the spleen, this little flap right here with this connective tissue. And then right here, this flappy thing right here is the actual stomach. And here is some ribs already. The liver, as you can see here, is an organ that's generally used for detoxifying. It can store a lot of glycogen, which is used for energy. The spleen is where red blood cells will go through apoptosis, which basically programs cell death. So when a blood cell is close to dying, it'll go here and die within this organ. The small intestines, as you can see here, where food's digested, it'll go all the way through the ileum, the jejunum, and duodenum. Not in that order. It'll go duodenum, ileum, and jejunum. And then it'll go through the large intestines, the ascending, transverse, and then descending.
And the stomach?
Stomach is back here. It is for digestion. It has a low pH for around 1. And you have muscles within the stomach wall that give it sort of a mechanical digestion as well, as opposed to a chemical one. Then from there it'll go through the intestines and have secretions mixed with it.
We'll be now removing the liver to better see the gallbladder.
We've just moved the liver. Now you can clearly see the stomach, the spleen. Up here you can see the muscle wall of the diaphragm. And down here beneath the duodenum, you can see the pancreas very faintly through the mesentery. It's right there. This duodenum flows down into the intestines, as you can see, all scattered throughout here, which will eventually lead back up into here, where it connects with the large intestines, and then digestion will be water absorption will begin in the large intestines. Here you can see we cut open the scrotum, and this is the testicle, or the testes. Here is the urethra, and here you can see more defined is the umbilical cord with this hard mass, which we assume is the bladder. And here you can see the kidneys right here on one side, and then kind of hidden back here is the second kidney. And these will again feed into the bladder, and then from there waste will be excreted through the urethra. As you can see here, surrounding the heart is another serous membrane, which is the pericardial membrane, the pericardial sac, and again its purpose or function is to reduce friction, as both membranes, just to the parietal and the visceral, which is the one that covers the organ. The parietal is the one that covers the wall. They reduce friction and prevent the heart from becoming inflamed as it rubs against another organ, namely the lungs or the wall of the cavity. Alright, as you can see here, we've opened the thoracic cavity. Here is the heart and what remains of the pericardium, the prior pericardium.
The diaphragm again.
Yeah, there's the diaphragm. And then down here is the esophagus, so it'll lead past the heart, behind the heart, down to the diaphragm and into the stomach, which is right here. As you can see in my hand, we have the pig heart, and it's very, very similar to another mammal's heart, which is this heart. This is a model of a dog heart. Here you can see the superior vena cava coming down into the right atrium. That'll go into the right ventricle and pump out into the pulmonary artery. As it comes back in, it'll come into the pulmonary veins, into the left atrium, the left ventricle, and then pump out to the aorta. And these two will go off into the right brachial arteries, and this will go into the left brachial artery. With the heart back in the cavity, oxygen is taken in through the lungs via the trachea, come down to the lungs, and arteries will be branching off the heart that lead into the lungs. Blood will go into the lungs, dump out its oxygen and other wastes, and take in oxygen and bring it back to the heart to be pumped out through the aorta. The aorta will come down the body and diffuse out to the rest of the body. Coming off the aorta are two brachial arteries that will feed into the limbs and into the head. Alrighty, here is the trachea, here is the larynx, the voice box, and down right here is the thyroid gland, this little bulb right here. And here is a lobe of the thymus gland, and here's another lobe. It's kind of hard to see, but they're the sort of the cortex, pancreas-looking things right here. They look different from the flesh around them.
We're gonna let you go over that so we get to do it just fine.
See the costal. Here we pulled back the skull away from the brain. Now the brain is not visible. This is the cerebral cortex. You can see with these folds here that the folds are useful because they increase surface area of the brain. Like more to be in there. And beneath it is up here, beneath the brain is the olfactory bulbs, as you can see on this model. Right about here. And back here is the medulla, beneath the skull.
The model is the model of a domestic dog.
Right, so it'll be right here, within the pig skull itself. Here are the olfactory bulbs in the pig, and inside the skull, if you can get a picture of that, is where they attach to. Right there. Right there inside the skull is where they attach to.